Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily Dose English, your daily space to improve your English, build confidence, and grow step by step.
Hey guys, we're really happy to have you here today. Whether you're feeling motivated or completely unmotivated, this episode is for you.
Because today's topic is something we all struggle with at some point: how to stay motivated.
Exactly. Sometimes we start something with full energy, maybe learning English, going to the gym, or working on a goal.
But after a few days or weeks, we lose that energy.
We feel lazy, distracted, or even stuck.
And that's completely normal.
Yes, motivation is not something that stays forever. It comes and goes.
So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about why motivation disappears.
And more importantly, how you can build it again and stay consistent.
We'll share simple ideas, real-life situations, and practical tips.
And remember, while listening, try to repeat after us or speak along with us.
That's the best way to improve your English and your mindset at the same time.
All right, let's get started.
Let's start with a simple question. What is motivation?
Good question. I think motivation is the reason behind our actions.
So, it's like the force that pushes us to do something?
Exactly. It's the energy that helps us start and continue a task.
But here's the problem. Motivation doesn't last forever.
Yes, that's very important to understand.
Many people think, I just need motivation and I'll be successful.
But that's not true.
Why?
Because motivation is temporary. Some days you feel motivated, and some days you don't.
I totally agree. For example, when I start something new, I feel excited.
Same here, like learning a new skill or starting a new routine.
But after a few days, that excitement disappears.
Yes, and that's where people give up.
So, what's the solution?
The solution is to understand that motivation is not enough.
Then what is more important?
Discipline.
Ah, that's a powerful word.
Yes, motivation helps you start, but discipline helps you continue.
That's a great line.
For example, if you want to improve your English, you can't depend only on motivation.
You have to practice daily even when you don't feel like it.
Exactly. That's how real progress happens.
Now let's talk about something important. Why do we lose motivation? Yes, this is something everyone experiences.
So, what do you think is the main reason?
I think one big reason is lack of clear goals.
What do you mean?
If you don't know exactly what you want, it's hard to stay motivated.
That makes sense. If your goal is unclear, your direction is also unclear.
Exactly. For example, saying, I want to improve my English is too general.
So, what's better?
A clear goal like, I want to speak English confidently in 3 months.
That's more specific.
Yes, and it gives you a clear target.
What's another reason?
Another reason is fear of failure.
Oh, yes, that's a big one.
Sometimes people don't even start because they're afraid of failing.
Or they stop when they face difficulty.
Exactly. They think, I'm not good at this, and they give up.
I've felt that many times.
Everyone does.
Any other reasons?
Yes, lack of consistency.
Explain that.
People start strong, but they don't continue.
Like studying for 2 days and then stopping.
Yes, and when you break the routine, it becomes harder to restart.
That's very true.
Another reason is distractions.
Social media?
Exactly. Phones, notifications, videos.
They steal our focus.
And when we lose focus, we lose motivation.
So motivation is connected to focus.
Yes, very strongly.
That's interesting.
Also, comparing yourself to others can reduce motivation.
Oh, yes, especially on social media.
You see others doing better and feel discouraged.
But we forget that everyone has a different journey.
Exactly. Let's move to solutions. The first step to staying motivated is setting clear goals.
We talked about this earlier, but let's go deeper. Why are clear goals so important?
Because goals give you direction. Without a goal, you're just moving without purpose.
That's true. It's like driving without knowing the destination.
Exactly. And when your goal is clear, your mind becomes focused.
So, how should we set goals?
Start small. Don't make huge goals in the beginning.
Why not?
Because big goals can feel overwhelming.
That's true. People get scared and quit early.
Yes, instead, break your big goal into smaller steps.
Can you give an example?
Sure, if your goal is to improve English, don't say, I will become fluent.
So, what should we say?
Say, I will practice speaking for 15 minutes daily.
That's simple and realistic.
Exactly. Small goals are easier to achieve.
And when you achieve them, you feel motivated again.
Yes, it creates a positive cycle.
That's powerful.
Now let's talk about something very important: discipline.
Yes, this is the key to long-term success.
So, what is discipline?
Discipline means doing something even when you don't feel like doing it.
That's tough.
It is, but it's necessary.
So, motivation helps you start, but discipline helps you continue.
That's exactly. How can someone build discipline?
Start with a routine.
Like a daily schedule?
Yes, for example, decide a fixed time to study or practice.
And follow it every day?
Yes, even if you don't feel motivated.
That's the hard part.
But that's what makes the difference.
I think consistency is the key here.
Absolutely. Consistency builds habits.
And habits reduce the need for motivation.
Exactly. When something becomes a habit, you do it automatically.
Let's talk about distractions. This is a big problem today.
Yes, especially with smartphones and social media.
Sometimes we just pick up our phone for 1 minute.
And end up wasting 1 hour.
So true.
Distractions kill motivation.
Because they break your focus.
Exactly. And without focus, you can't make progress.
So how can we reduce distractions?
First, identify your biggest distractions.
For most people, it's their phone.
Yes, so one simple solution is to keep your phone away while working.
That's practical.
Another tip is to create a clean and quiet environment.
Like a study space?
Yes, a place where you can focus.
What about time management?
Very important. You can use techniques like studying for 25 minutes and then taking a short break.
That helps maintain focus.
Yes, and it prevents burnout.
So the key is control your environment.
Exactly. When you control your environment, you control your focus. Now let's talk about something very powerful: mindset.
Yes, mindset can change everything.
If you don't believe in yourself, it's very hard to stay motivated.
That's true. Self-doubt can stop you before you even start.
Exactly. Many people think, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this.
I've had those thoughts too.
Everyone has, but the difference is how you deal with them.
So what should we do?
We need to replace negative thoughts with positive ones.
Like what?
Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I will try and improve.
That sounds simple, but it's powerful.
Yes, because your thoughts affect your actions.
So a positive mindset creates positive actions.
Exactly.
What about self-belief?
Self-belief is trusting yourself even when things are difficult.
That's not easy.
No, but it grows with small successes.
So when we achieve small goals, our confidence increases.
Yes, and that keeps us motivated.
Let's talk about real life. What happens when things get difficult?
That's when motivation is tested.
Yes, because it's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well.
But when you face problems, you feel like giving up.
So, how can we stay motivated during tough times?
First, remember your why.
Your reason for starting?
Exactly. Why did you start this journey?
That can bring back motivation.
Second, accept that failure is part of the process.
That's very important.
Failure doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're learning.
I like that.
Also, take breaks when needed.
So, it's okay to rest?
Of course, rest is not quitting.
That's a great point.
Also, surround yourself with positive people.